Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, all of you, please on your cameras. She's going to start the Omkaram also. And you start the presentation, Adisha, directly. After
Okay, ma'am.
starting the presentation, you do the Omkaram. Yes. Sai Ram, Happy New Year, खुशी और सब लोग खुश खुश रहें.
Ma'am, may I get started?
Yes, yes, you may.
Now, before,
You just start the presentation first. When
okay,
you
ma'am.
on the presentation, in the side, your recording also comes. The others, I would request them to please on the cameras.
Ma'am, is my screen
Yes,
visible?
yes, your screen is visible. Yes, increase the volume. Okay, now it's full.
Ma'am, it's visible, right?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
So today we are going to learn English reported.
Sairam, ma'am.
Sairam, Sairam. Any new person who comes has to say Sairam, only then your attendance will be registered.
Sairam, ma'am.
Sairam,
Sairam, ma'am.
Sairam,
Sairam ma'am.
Sairam.
Sairam ma'am.
There are still four children who haven't told Sairam. Three or four. Yes, three now. Pinky Purti, have you said
Sairam ma'am.
Sairam? Pinky Purti? Pinky says Sairam so that your attendance is registered.
Ma'am, Purti is not here.
Pinky is there. Pinky Oja is visible over here. Okay. Adisha, you may continue.
English reported. Now, before we start with this learning session, I want to ask you all a simple question. The question is, what is reported? Whoever wants to give the answer can write their name in the chat box.
Akshita, can you please help her because her partner is not here? Or Khushi, anyone?
Yes,
No one wants to answer? If you don't want to answer, I will pick you up. Oh.
Yes, yes, that's better, I suppose. Because
Tasha, can you please repeat the question?
What is reported speech? The question is, what is reported? Shreyansh, you may answer the question.
Shreyansh, she's calling you. Please answer her. You can change the name quickly.
Yes, ma'am. Monica, you may answer the question.
Shreyansh, the screen, she hasn't shown anything on the screen. She's simply asking you a question. You're supposed to answer that. So we just want an audio for that. And you're full of excuses, Shreyansh.
Monica, you may answer.
Akshat, Vivek, Pranjal, anyone? Nobody wants to
Yes,
attempt that.
ma'am.
Yes, what is a reported speech? Report करना नहीं होता है.
Ma'am, reported speech is when we tell someone that another person said. To do this, we can use direct speech or indirect speech.
Hmm. Good.
Okay.
Good try. Yes.
Anyone else wants to answer the question, or I will start with my presentation?
I think you can start with your presentation and keep explaining in between, but make sure that you ask questions from your presentation to them, just to see
Yes,
how
ma'am.
active they are.
English reports. What is reported speech? Reported speech can be said as indirect speech also, and it is used when we want to report what someone said without speech mark or without quoting them explicitly or detailedly and without necessarily using the same words. Now, there are some steps to convert a direct speech to indirect speech. And the steps are: change the tense into its past form. Whatever tense is in the direct speech, just change it into its past form. And the pronouns are even affected according to the words in the speech. Now, I want to give you a simple statement and please uh, change it into indirect speech. He said, I like to read books. Please change it into indirect speech. Whoever wants to answer can write their name in the chat box.
Adisha, you can type it over there and then they will change it.
Yes, ma'am.
He said, I like to read books. It's a simple one which you have to convert into reported speech. And we have, in the half yearly, we had done these questions now. It had come in the exam also.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what about the others? Don't be such a bore.
Yes,
Pranjal,
Monica, you may.
yes, Monica, good.
He said he liked to read books.
Anyone else who wants to try?
These children take so much of pains to bring all this for you, and you people are not at all participating. I've decided one thing. One thing I'm going to include in your periodic three is how spontaneous you are and how active you are in the class. That is one activity. And almost all the boys are going to get zero in that. How about that? One is the presentation one, and others is I'll say that the ones who are more active in the class will be getting marks. The others zero. Do you have a presentation or something, Adesha?
Ma'am, once this presentation is over, I will show them a video.
Okay. Listen to what she's asking carefully and then answer it. The question is written, Pranjal. You just have to convert it.
It's written here. He said, I like to read books. Change it into indirect speech.
Everyone check your chat box. Adisha has written the question. Yes, Pranjal, now you can answer.
Ma'am, he said that he liked to read books.
He like or he
He
liked?
He liked.
Is he correct, Adesha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that was a very simple one, and you should not be doubtful. Okay, and
Okay, let
Pranjal,
us
you
continue.
were one second. Devang, and you were doing which chapter, Pranjal?
Chapter 6 of supplementary.
Okay,
Yes,
The
ma'am.
fight.
okay. So next time, please be ready, Devang. I had to all of a sudden tell Adisha to do it then.
Ma'am,
You've
my
already missed
Now
eye,
it.
let us.
Yes, Devang?
ma'am, my eye is, ma'am, my like.
Yeah? Devang, प्लीज प्रेजेंटेशन के टाइम आप ऐसी जगह बैठो जब आवाज ना आए जहां पर. How will I give you marks then?
Ma'am, my eye is, ma'am.
आई फ्लू हुआ है. No, that is why you can do one thing. You can send the things to Pranjal. He can do the presentation. When is the next period for class 8?
Ma'am, on Friday.
Ma'am,
Friday. Friday.
ma'am,
No, no,
Thursday.
no, sorry.
Ma'am, Thursday.
Thursday. So Thursday, Pranjal, you make sure that he is ready for the presentation. Devang, will you be ready on Thursday?
Yes, ma'am.
क्योंकि ऑलरेडी पूरे 6, 7, 8, 9 को पढ़ाती हूँ. 8 का ही सबसे पीछे चल रहा है कोर्स. और ऐसे करके जब हम लास्ट मोमेंट पे यू टेल दैट यू कांट डू इट, दिस इज नॉट फेयर ना. थर्सडे आप नहीं करोगे तो मैं आपको 0 डाल दूंगी. रिमेंबर दैट. दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर असेसमेंट. यस, सॉरी दिशा टू डिस्टर्ब यू. कंटिन्यू प्लीज.
An important note, the tense doesn't change in those sentences where a fact or a scientific fact is justified and also where a habit is expressed. Like the teacher says the earth revolves around the sun. Now the verb here the verb here is revolves and it won't change to its past form because here a scientific fact is stated. That is why it won't change its verb tense. Now, changes in words expressing nearness, time, and auxiliaries. This in the direct speech changes to that in the indirect speech, and there changes to those, now, then, here, there, today, that day, tomorrow, the next day, yesterday, the previous day, last night, the previous night, can, could, may, might, shall changes to should, and ago changes to before, and just changes to then, and thus changes to so. Now, changing of tense. The simple present tense changes to simple past, present to past continuous, and present perfect to past perfect, simple past to past perfect, and past continuous or progressive changes to past perfect, continuous, or progressive. Now, changing statements into indirect speech. Said to will be changed into told, replied, or remarked according to the kind of sentence. Like there are four types of sentences, as you all know: assertive, interrogative, exclamatory, and imperative. Rules for the change of interrogative sentences. The reporting verb say is changed into asked or inquired. Whether and if are used when the sentence is a yes no answer type question with auxiliaries and supporting verbs. Example, he said to her, will you help me? He asked her whether she would help him. I hope this is clear. Now, second, rules for the change of imperative sentences. Imperative sentences depict some kind of command, request, advice, etc. Now, therefore, some specific words replace the verb said told for the reporting verb in the reported speech. Like example, she said to me, please help me. She requested me to help her. Requested is being replaced here in the place of said because it is a imperative sentences. Now, the teacher said to him, don't waste your time. Teacher advised him not to waste his time. Now, rules for the change of exclamatory sentences. Reporting verb said or said to is changed to exclaim as it is an exclamatory sentence. Now, the conjunction that is used then changes then change it into a sentence like example, hooray, we won the game. They exclaimed with joy that they had won the game. Now, the reverse indirect to direct speech. Use the reporting verb say or said to. Remove the conjunctions that, if, to, whether, etc. and insert quotation marks, question marks, exclamation marks, and a full stop wherever it is necessary. As we all know, in direct speech we use commas, quotation marks, so we have to put these marks when we are converting a indirect speech to direct speech. Now, with this, I conclude my slide. Thank. Now, let us see a video on indirect speech.
Adisha, there's no volume to it. Adisha, Adisha,
Yes, ma'am.
there's no volume.
Yes, ma'am. Just a
It's
second.
not audible. You can start it from the beginning.
Ma'am, is it audible now?
No, no, it's still not audible. Did you try this out with someone?
Yes, ma'am. We set up the meeting and then I set up the meeting with Radhika. She said it was audible.
Can any of the boys help her, please? Akshat,
Yes, ma'am.
have you muted? She's not muted. It's audible. Tell her how to do it.
Ma'am,
By
can she send the link in the chat box so I can present it?
okay, you can do that. Even the previous class of ninth standard, we did that only. Okay, one thing I want to mention until she's sorting this out. Next, on Thursday, Devang will not present because he's not well. I did not know that he's injured so badly. After Devang, who was doing the chapter number 6? Have we done chapter number 6 of the main textbook? Khushi?
Yes, ma'am.
I messaged you in the morning, मुझे जवाब नहीं मिला था.
Oh, ma'am. Ma'am, 1 minute. Ma'am, I don't know about this.
No. How many chapters have you done in the main textbook? I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am.
Seven chapters.
7 are complete.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then
Yes, ma'am.
who is doing the eighth chapter of the main
Ma'am,
textbook?
Shreyansh.
Shreyansh. Okay. Shreyansh, please on your camera and your unmute yourself. पूरा साल हो गया तुम हमेशा ये कहते मेरा कैमरा खराब है. Shreyansh.
Ma'am,
Yes, you will be doing the presentation on Thursday on chapter 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no excuses in the last moment, so please be ready. And after
Okay,
that,
ma'am.
Devang will do. Because he's not well, you will do it on Thursday, coming Thursday. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, Akshat is presenting the screen as it is not audible.
Let's see.
When we record someone's work, we
ma'am, now it is audible.
Yes, it's audible. It's audible. How did you do it?
can
Just
do
tell it
it
to other
in
people in the
two
class.
ways:
Akshat?
direct speech and reported or indirect speech. An example of direct speech is Diane said, I am happy today. To write the same sentence in reported speech, we would say, Diane said that she was happy that day. Notice that there is a difference in direct and reported speech. When we change direct speech to reported speech, we must often change the tense. For example, she said, I am tired. This is direct speech. She said that she was tired. This is reported speech. If we use the present tense in direct speech, we use the past tense in reported speech. Another example, he said, I have seen snow. This is direct speech. In reported speech, we say, he said that he has seen snow. Notice the present perfect changes to the past perfect. The children said, we are listening. This is direct speech. The children said that they were listening. This is reported speech. Notice the present continuous changes to the past continuous. Let's look at a real example. The son says to his father, I fell down the stairs. The father reports to his wife. He said that he had fallen down the stairs. The past tense in direct speech changes to the past perfect or stays in the simple past in reported speech. Also notice how the pronoun changes. Another example, Katie tells her friend, I have a secret. I really like Thomas. Her friend then tells Thomas, Hi Thomas, Katie told me that she liked you. Here, the present tense verb like changes to the past tense liked. Here's another. The teacher says, don't chew gum in school. The boy tells his dad, my teacher told me not to chew gum in school. Here, the word don't changes to not to. When changing direct speech to reported speech, we often need to change the time. For example, tomorrow becomes the next day. Next week becomes the following week. Yesterday becomes the day before or the previous day. Last week becomes the week before or the previous week. For example, the boy says to the girl, I will call you tomorrow. The girl tells her friend, he said that he would call me the next day, but he didn't call. Notice will changes to would, and tomorrow changes to the next day. How can we ask questions questions in reported speech. First, let's talk about yes or no questions. For example, can you help me carry my groceries? To change this to reported speech, we must use the word if. He asked if I could help him. Notice the word can changes to could. Okay, now let's try something that's not a yes or no question. For example, what is your name? In reported speech, we would say, she asked what my name was. We don't need to switch the subject and the verb, and we don't need the word if. And one last piece of information. It isn't always necessary to change the tense if something is still true now. For example, direct speech. Diane said, I am a teacher. Reported speech. Diane said that she is a teacher. We don't need to change the tense because this is still true now.
Ma'am, it's over.
Done, Nadisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah, ma'am.
That was a very nice video, a very well explained one. So that was it, and her partner Radhika is busy with the value festival. Though I think she should have sent you the material. That is why I have put partners के अगर एक busy हो जाता है suddenly कुछ होता है so the other can always
Ma'am,
help.
she has sent me her presentation, but it's in my mother's phone, so actually the phone is not working that
Okay.
properly.
Okay. And when will she join us? Did she tell Radhika?
Ma'am, I
Because
have
this
no
topic has
idea.
to be okay.
Ma'am, I'll try to present her presentation next
No,
class.
I'll just do one thing. I'll see this. We'll do some activities of reported speech on Tata Edge. Okay, let her give the presentation herself. I'm just doing this 1 second.
Sarah, ma'am.
Saira. Thank you, Akshat, for helping us out.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Who is going to read this out? Kushi, can you start reading this?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think we have done this.
And have you done the answers also?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Then we have done everything, I suppose.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Even this one, na? Have we done this?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Again, let's come back to this. Uh, Ranjan, if I want to go back to this, what should I do? Oh, okay, chapter list.
Ma'am, what?
No, I was just asking you if in the smart board, if you remember how we used to go back. This is something I think we have completed everything.
Ma'am, you have to log out.
No, that's okay. You want to watch this video again for the revision?
Yes, ma'am.
Now that you have learned how direct and indirect speech is used, let's see if you can answer a few questions. Which option shows the following sentence converted into indirect speech? Select the option and then click submit. Yes, anyone? Just tell directly the answer and I'll click it.
Ma'am,
Which is the
second
answer?
option.
Second.
And first girl.
Said that I am going, she was going. In this sentence, am going changes to was going. Remember that while changing a sentence from direct to indirect speech, the tense of the reporting verb must be considered. Words describing time also change in indirect speech. So, the word now changes to then. You should understand this that I am going will become was going. हर चीज past tense में होती है जब report करते हैं. Which option shows the following sentence converted into indirect speech? Select the option and then click submit. Okay, now I'll say the
Ma'am,
meaning.
first option.
First option. In this sentence, the helping verb will changes its form to would and tomorrow changes to the next day. When converting direct speech into indirect speech, words describing time and place will change. Which option shows the following sentence converted into indirect speech? Select the option and then click submit. This is for Parth. Parth will answer this. Parth, are you there in the class? Parth, your name is visible, but you're never answering anything in the class. By the way, does anyone remember which chapter was Parth supposed to present? And he ditched us and he did not come in the class that day? Again, no answer. Parth, Nikunj,
Yes, ma'am.
they call. हाँ निकुंज ने बोला पार्थ तो बोलता भी नहीं है. I'm not going to request you people to do your presentation. निकुंज आपने तो ये आधे पीरियड में कर दिया था, if you remember. You can tell your friend Parth that ma'am had called his name 4 or 5 times and he did not answer. He is going to WhatsApp me personally and tell me which chapter he is doing. I have to complete it by 10th of January. तो जिसका रह जाएगा 10th of January तक, then you think what is going to happen. Okay, now tell the answer of this Nikunj in reported speech. Is it visible, Nikunj?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ma'am, second.
Read it out.
Sudha said that her files were in those drawers.
In this sentence, the possessive adjective my changes to her and the word these changes to those. Remember that when converting direct to indirect speech, possessive adjectives as well as words describing time and place will change.
Possessive means जो दिखाते हैं कि ये किसका है. My
Select the correct option to complete the sentence in indirect speech. When you are done, click submit.
Okay, now this who is doing it? It's a very famous proverb. Rishi? Shreyansh? Who is going to answer this? In other classes in 6th 7th में तो लड़ाई होती है कि मैं बोलूंगी and यहाँ पर कोई बोलता ही नहीं है.
Ma'am, may I?
Waves.
Saves. Yes.
That's correct. In this sentence, the tense of the word saves does not change because the reported speech is the same. Remember that when the reporting verb is in the past tense, the report tense will remain unchanged if the reported speech is the same, universal truth or habit.
Universal truth मतलब जिसको कुछ change नहीं करता. Like the sun rises in the east. This is also universal truth. Nobody can change this. Change this. The stars shine in the night. There will be stars shine because this is the truth. It cannot be changed. You will not say that the stars were shining last night. ये वो तो universal truth है. वो तो shine करेंगे ही करेंगे और रात को ही करेंगे. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Select the correct option to complete the sentence in indirect speech. When you are done, click submit.
Monica, do you want to attempt this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell the answer of this. Will convert to what?
Would. Ma'am,
Right? Yes, which one? First one, second one? Which one?
first one.
First one. Right. Good.
That's correct. In this sentence, the helping verb will changes to would. When converting direct speech into indirect speech, some helping verbs will change their form.
See here, if the sentence was I will not be attending. अगर वो हो जाता will not be attending, then the answer would have been Prakash said that he would not be attending. Okay? One more we'll do and then we'll call it a day.
Select the correct option to complete the sentence in indirect speech. When you are done, click submit.
Again, I'm calling out the name of Parth. Parth. Not there. Priyansh. These are some of the favorites. Yes.
Ma'am,
Girls.
Pranjal.
Yes, Pranjal.
Ma'am, had brought.
Tell the whole sentence.
Ma'am, she said that she had brought apple, grapes, and bananas.
That's correct. In this sentence, the present perfect verb have changes to the past perfect had when the reporting verb is in the past tense. For example, said. The tense of the report will change in indirect speech. However, the The tense of the report will depend on whether the reported speech is in the simple, continuous, or perfect tense.
So here we are. Um, we'll continue with yours, Disha, some other time. But next time it is Shreyansh who is going to start on Thursday, followed by Devang. Okay, so Devang, you can rest for some a few days, but be ready for the presentation. And first Shreyansh will do, and then Devang. Okay, see you then. And the children who are left for the presentation, again, this is your last warning. Otherwise, I'll be awarding you 0 then. Okay, bye and Sairam.
Saram